We are just about to do the second part of Rat-U-Thit Soi. If you follow my channel, you would have seen part one where we covered the northern section of this road, and we're now going to make our way down the southern part of Rat-U-Thit. There's actually more densely packed businesses in this section of the road than there was in the northern section of the road. So let's get on with it. So just across the road there is Bangla Road. And as you leave Bangla Road and turn right, you will quickly come upon the central department store. That is on your right hand side, and also the very large Jungceylon, which is the main shopping mall here in Patong. So if you've got some shopping to do and you want the designer names, then that is where to make your way to. And when I say designer names, I'm talking about original products now, not replicas or copies. Of course, the shopping malls do not sell replicas, only the markets. I'm actually fairly early this morning because of the weather. We are seeing rain moving across Phuket, and it looks like the rains have actually started a little bit earlier this year because we are just at the start of April. We haven't yet gotten to Songkran. Normally Songkran can be wet. Obviously you have the water fights, etc. But normally the rains start either on or just after Songkran. But this year they're a little bit early. We're seeing rain not every single day, but most days now. It rained last night. You can probably see there's water on the ground in some places just in front. And yesterday afternoon we had rain for about an hour. And the day before it stayed dry, but the previous days to that it did rain. Just want to show you this night market. It's mainly clothes and accessories, t-shirts, hats, that type of thing, bags. If you want to come down and check this out. A little bit like OTOP. OTOP, of course, is a little bit further down this road. So, as I mentioned on the first one, a lot of people will visit this soi or road, whichever you want to call it, because of the facilities along this soi. You have obviously the main shopping malls, you also have OTOP, and there's a lot of businesses along here, to be fair. A lot of massage, a lot of shops, a lot of vendors, and of course we have the smart bus stop. So if you're traveling to places such as Karon, Kata, Rawai, then this is the stop that you need to make your way to. Sounds like a big building project. A lot of building going on along this soi, as you will see as we're going down here. The actual road itself is also being worked on as well. I'd like to thank everybody that's commenting on the videos. And of course, please do let me know your thoughts on this soi if you've stayed in this section of the soi, because this part of the soi has an awful lot of accommodation. It really does. And there's small sois leaning off the main road as well, which are full of guest house accommodation, apartments, rooms, you name it, you're going to find it along here. And this is why I said 99% of people will visit this soi at some stage during their stay in Patong. Even if you're not staying in Patong, you'll probably still visit it if you visit Patong because of all the facilities. Just in front there, Christine's massage. Now, I've never actually been in there and taken a massage, but it is quite well known here and quite famous in Patong. So if you have been in there, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on whether it was good or not, because I always mention it when I walk down this site, but I don't actually know whether it's that good. Lots of little vendors selling all sorts of goodies along there, all sorts. But there is a massive choice down this side when it comes to massage and facilities, so you're not going to be short at all regarding that. As you can see, little side roads leading off that holds a wealth of accommodation. But do bear in mind, this is the main area, so obviously the accommodation along here may be a little bit dearer than towards the outer parts of Patong. Now, somebody left me a comment on the last video saying at the rate that I'm eating I'm going to be the size of a horse, and this is one of the benefits and disadvantages of living out here in Thailand. As you've seen, there is literally food everywhere, which is great because it means you can pick up a snack or a meal any time of the day or night, really. You don't have to look very far to find food. But on the disadvantage side, or the downside, if you want to call it that, if you're trying to stay on a diet or not put on too much weight, then that is very difficult over here because there's so much tempting food on offer. It is really difficult and you need a lot of willpower to resist, because there's markets everywhere, and where there isn't any markets, there are street vendors. As you can see, lots and lots of choice. Even first thing in the morning, it's just after 10 o'clock, I think. A little after 10 o'clock in the morning, so as I mentioned early. But the sky today doesn't look great. Very cloudy, overcast a little bit. There is sun just peeking out. Maybe it will come out and play later on, not sure. Or maybe this afternoon we're going to see some heavy showers like yesterday. Of course, this time of the year we are now moving towards low season. Once we have Thai New Year out of the way, really we are going into a low season, so showers are to be expected. March has been very hot indeed, but not as dry as some years that have gone by. I have known it to be extremely dry month March and April, but not very often. If you go back over my channel where I've covered Songkran, you'll probably find one or two videos where it hasn't rained on Songkran. The rest, it has rained and we've had showers, but as I've said, it doesn't really affect Songkran because of all the water fighting anyway. Some big names along here, as in accommodation. You've got the Holiday Inn just over there. We're coming into the area known as OTOP now. This is a great area if you're with a family, if you've got your family in tow, the wife, the kids, etc., or the husband, whoever happens to be watching the video. This is a great area for families. It's a little bit more family friendly than Bangla Road in the evening anyway. Bangla Road is fine in the daytime, I've mentioned this before, but in the evening maybe not so good or suitable for younger children. But this area really is a little bit more relaxed, and it's got a good choice as well. You know, plenty of stuff. You can Swadee Cap, good morning. So you have got a large choice when it comes to shopping, but there's quite a few restaurants here as well, so you can come down late afternoon, maybe grab some food while you're doing your shopping, and a really good place. There's a few bars over the back. Again, the girls here are a little bit more relaxed and not as pushy as they are on Bangla Road. So I personally feel that OTOP is better suited for families, but of course that is down to the family. Just across the road there, the well-known Hooters. Behind that is the Hard Rock Cafe. I've been in there a few times, to be honest, the Hard Rock Cafe. I personally find it very expensive. That is my personal opinion. If you're looking for that type of entertainment, they do have obviously live entertainment on, not every night, but some nights. But I do find the food expensive. And of course, we have the OTOP Market. This isn't that big, to be honest. I have been looking around Patong to find all the markets, and I want to do some filming around them. Of course, this time in the morning, not open. It's more of a late afternoon, evening place, but you're going to be able to find yourself some food there. Plenty of chain restaurants if you want to try them out. Burger King, etc. I know sometimes when you're on holiday, you do get a little bit tired of Thai food, and you might want to have the old burger or something. So even though we're still fairly early in the day, you can see yourself, it's quite a busy soi. There's a lot of activity, there's a lot of traffic running down this soi. Of course, it is one way for vehicles. That Ashley Hub, I believe that is called there. I have been there with Nat because she's had customers from that hotel renting bikes. Now, of course, I should mention that my wife has a hire company, so if you are looking at hiring a car or scooter, then give us a shout. You know, check out the links in the description down below, because I always put the link to my wife's Facebook page. Check her site out, and she may be able to do a good deal. Now, of course, if you haven't joined the members area of my channel, as one of the incentives to join, you will get a discount on the bike hire of 10%. So, of course, if you're hiring a bike for 2 weeks or a month or longer, that can be a reasonable discount. So just bear that in mind. Lots and lots of restaurants along here. Again, I'd be interested on hearing some feedback on some of these restaurants. So whether you found them good, value for money, the food, good quality, please do suggest some restaurants, and I will try and visit those at some point. Another big hotel here. Now, at the bottom of this site, you will come to Marlin Plaza. Again, this is a market and shopping area. If you don't know to it, I have covered it in the past. I shall be covering it in the coming weeks. Maybe I'm going to do it as the food section, because there's a food area, and then there's also an indoor plaza, I guess you'd call it, rather than a market. And there's various vendors in there selling all types of goods, so that's a good place again to have a look around. Not too many in the way of convenience stores down here. There are a few 7-Elevens, one super cheap here. Few bars. The Happy Cactus, it looks like a bar and restaurant, to be fair. They do food. Tex-Mex. Good morning. Sorry, Cap. Nice and friendly down there, the southern part of the soy. So we're not too far from the end, and it's taken me nearly 20 minutes to walk down here at a steady pace. I'm not rushing at all. Another restaurant there doing Thai dishes and Thai food, and selling fruit outside as well. So not too long a walk. If you want to walk from Bangla down to Marlin Plaza, depending on your pace, it's going to take you around 20 minutes. And this is the end of the soi here, just in front, as you can see. And that has now covered the whole length of Rat-U-Thit. And I hope you've enjoyed this soi because it is one of the main sois, and without doubt I am sure you're going to visit it at some stage if you are staying in Patong, or even just visiting Patong. You will come down this soi because, as you've seen, it is one of the main areas containing all the shopping, lots of choices when it comes to food, etc., and of course accommodation as well. Let me know your thoughts. Drop them down in the comments section. If you've enjoyed the video, then of course you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then I would really appreciate it if you would click that subscribe button. That's of course if you enjoy my content. And I guess now that we're at the end of the soi, that's it for today. Ooh. Somebody hoovering up there. So I will catch you very soon on the next video. You take care and have a great day.